We are live yet. Okay, we are officially live. All right, so we are going to go last to first, first to last. It's like I'm in, I'm out, I'm out, I'm in. You got to figure out which one you're doing. Hey, everybody, welcome. We were just having a little conversation here in pre-hangout mode, and we want to welcome you to the hangout tonight. This is the All-In Team Wednesday night hangout. We do this each week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and we have an awesome lineup tonight and a really cool topic. First of all, I want to welcome all of our guests, all of our first-time viewers. We want to welcome all of you that have either been watching from a distance or you're already a part of the team. If you're a new member, welcome to the Hangout. Welcome to being a part of the team. We have so many new members. Matter of fact, we just got a testimonial, a success story from Christy a minute ago. You're going to meet her here in just a second. We're going to bring her out first instead of last because she has something fun to share. And you know, this is a team that is completely committed and dedicated to your success. And we just started doing our weekly hangouts again. We did them for about 2 years. Then we took some time off. We did a little vacationing, a little bit of downtime. We gave everybody a chance to you know, regroup and take some time with family and friends and just spend some more of the time that they, you know, build this business for. And here we are back now getting started. We're going to be meeting each and every week. You're going to see a lot of new people coming on, and a lot of new faces, a lot of new leaders, a lot of brand new members that are getting results coming up the line and sharing their stories about what's happening for them and how they're doing it. And we're super excited. I actually have a lot of some big leaders, a lot of good friends inside our community who are committed to coming on to the Hangout as well. Last week, if you guys remember, we had our good friends Anna and Alex Zubarev, and they were like $1,400 away from reaching the $1 million mark in the company. And I think it was just last night they not only crossed the $1 million mark in commissions in just 3.5 years, but I think they had like a $7,000 day yesterday. So they didn't just cross the line, they broke the tape. And you know, all over their Facebook is just incredible you know, support and appreciation and congratulations to them, just like the entire community like lifts everybody up. And that's how they got there, is by being a part of this amazing community that lifts people up, it raises people up, it speaks life into people, and it gives people the support that we all need to be a success. And that's what we love so much about Empower Network. So that being said, let's do this. Let's go down to the panel. I want to introduce everybody. Everyone just take a couple minutes, you know, share your story, you know, what you did before Empower Network, what life was like, you know, what you were dealing with, how you came on board here, and what's happened for you ever since. And like I said, I was going to go out to our brand new panelists. We just met, actually, a few weeks ago in Tennessee, right, Nashville, Tennessee, at our last live event, right, Christy? And she was just sharing with us in conference mode here a few minutes ago what happened to her this morning. So let's do this, Christy. I'm going to turn it over to you. And then maybe you could just turn it over to one of the guys, and then one of the guys will turn it over to Yvette, and then go back to the other guy. I'm going to actually go heat up some mac and cheese right now and some fresh turkey loaf for my son, who's going to be eating dinner here while we're on the Hangout. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Christy.
All right, thanks. Hi, I'm Christy Hill, and a little bit about myself. I am a single parent of 3 kids, and I've been searching for the right vehicle to get in for 6 years. I actually found something on Craigslist 6 years ago, and I've been hopping around ever since. I have what they call shiny object syndrome, and I actually was on someone's list, a lot of people's list actually, and for a very long time. So back in February, right around the last event, which would have been Vegas, I joined, and I treated it like a hobby instead of my business, but I did decide I'm going to go ahead and go to the event, because if I'm around like-minded people, then, you know, I'll be more motivated. And one thing that they said at the event was only have a plan A, don't have a plan B and plan C. So I've completely got rid of my plan B and C, and this is it. So actually my story is that I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning. I've been doing a little bit here and there, you know, following, doing what I'm supposed to do, watching the videos and the training and implementing everything that I'm learning. And I woke up at, well, I didn't wake up. I received an email at 4 o'clock this morning that said that I received a $25 commission. And that's while I was sleeping, and that's why I'm doing this business, because I'm leveraging my time and my money, and I feel free, and I'm so happy about it. And my kids are loving me because I'm able to stay at home with them instead of them being gone all the time and in daycare, and so yes, that's my story. And I'm going to pass it on to I'm sorry, what's his name?
Adrian.
Todd. Yes.
Oh, thanks, Christy. Hi, my name's Todd Witherspoon, and like probably a lot of you on the web chat tonight, I was taught by my family and my father to follow the American dream, go to college, get a job, climb the corporate ladder, and in doing that over about a 15, 20-year career in medical, I became a director. I developed a 6-figure income, but what I had done is I had given up a lot of my freedom. I was going to work at like 6 a.m. When it was dark. I was getting home when it was dark, and I had no time, no control over my life, but I felt like I was a success. And then something happened when I was working. I was basically told by my boss at that time, because I was the director and I supervised a whole number of people. I was told that I had to lay off a large number of people, and that I was going to be taking over a lot of other jobs, but I wasn't going to make any more money. I was already making that 6 figures, and I was working 80 to 90 hours a week, and so I was very disgruntled with the whole corporate structure and everything like that. And so about 16 years ago, I reached out to a friend, and they introduced me to affiliate marketing. And through that, I was able to meet Aaron Rashkin, the leader of our group, and on the web today. And I was able to develop a very strong 6-figure income in affiliate marketing for a while. And then, most importantly, in developing that income, I was able to have the freedom to do what I wanted to do. I could spend time with my family. I could go travel. I could do everything. Now, fast forward to today, Aaron approached me about Empower several years ago, and I was like, oh, now I'm here. And it's just amazing. The leadership that we have, everybody that's on the webinar right now, and you're wondering, hey, am I in the right place at the right time? We have the right leader. We have the right company, a company that's just blowing up records, doing everything. And you're here to learn, and we're here to teach. And so I just wanted to share my story really quick, and I appreciate it. And I'm going to send it over to Yvette so that she can share a little bit about her story and what brought her to Empower.
Hey, Todd, you guys. It's great to see you guys. Thanks for passing the baton over to me. My name's Yvette Frankel, and how I started out was, and what even got me interested or let alone looking for an opportunity is my background is I teach Pilates, and I'm a health and lifestyle coach, right? And then I got divorced, and it's amazing, if not terrifying, the change in lifestyle that one comes up to when you're really dependent on your spouse for those types of things. And with the divorce, things can get really dicey. Let's just say that. So I found myself in a really, really terrifying position that even though I loved what I did, and I love it, and I love teaching, and I love Pilates, and I love all that, it wasn't going to cut it. And that was a huge turning point for me, where I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do? Where am I going to look where I can not only be able to sustain and still have a lifestyle that I'm accustomed to? It's one thing to have a lifestyle, all right? And it's another thing when you feel like you can't provide it for yourself, or you feel like it's going to be literally taken away from you, and it's a terrifying situation, or at least that's certainly the place that I was coming from. A lot of fear. So I came up with certain deals with myself where, what am I going to do where I can sustain myself but still be able to be with my son, right? Because I knew that doing a regular job wasn't going to cut it. and even if it did afford me the money, I wasn't going to be able to be with my son. So that's when I started looking around, and then I actually came across Aaron, actually through Facebook, actually, the way you follow conversations, and I was following people, and I was just reading and catching up on feeds, and I noticed just how he spoke and the things that he was talking about, and I've kind of followed him, and then just kind of checked out his blog and just got a real good sense for how he came across and what he taught, and that's how I came across Aaron, who I am so blessed. I feel so blessed to be able to have him as not only a mentor, but develop an unbelievable friendship that I'm so privileged to have, but also the community that I was able to find with our, literally, I refer to it as an EN family, because certainly at the time of my divorce and at the time of really trying to discover myself as an entrepreneur and all the things that go on, at least for a woman, obviously I can only speak from that point of view, is right. Ooh, hello. But just be able to have the support and the community to help me with that, because frankly, I wasn't going to get it from the people around me, whether it was from the divorce or people were like, oh my God, are you crazy? What are you doing? I'm like, what am I going to do? I was getting advice from people who have 9-to-5 jobs. No worries about that, because I've done that. So there's no offense to that, but I wanted something different. So I was thinking, why should I listen to people who don't have what I want, right? So I was thinking, okay, I probably, even though they have good intentions, maybe, I can't listen to that. So I really was searching for if there's a different way, and I found it with our EN family. I found the support and the community, and just the friends that I've made was just really beyond anything that I could have possibly imagined. So I'm just so grateful on so many levels in terms of the person that I've become and continually evolve into. In fact, I think that I'm a better, actually my baby daddy, my co-parent, and my wonderful, I can't believe I can actually say this because it wasn't like that before, my wonderful former husband, he will even vouch that I'm a better co-parent and person to deal with now. Whoa, if that's not a testimonial right there, when your former says that, wow, I don't know what it is you're doing, but you know what, you're just a better person to deal with, because I'm happy. I feel like I've got some personal grounding and traction here, and I have my freedom. And a mentor once told me that people are more beautiful when they're free, and it's so true. It's so true. So that's my deal, and so I am going to pass the baton to the wonderful man that is Mr. Adrian.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
We hear you, bro.
Yeah, cool. How's it going, everybody at home? The lovely panel, Christy, Todd, Yvette, Mr. Aaron Ration, of course. Adrian right here, guys. And if you're at home watching, you just heard 3 amazing stories back to back. And it's like, one thing they all talked about is the freedom, Todd was making 6 figures with the company he was with, but he wasn't happy. There was no freedom. They were working 80, 90 hours a week, right? Christy she's able to stay at home now with the kids, and having that freedom to be able to do what you want with your family is an amazing thing. Same thing with Yvette, the time freedom. It's all about the freedom at the end of the day, guys. And for me, I was in the military. I got out in 2003, and talk about the freedom here again, right? So I get home, and at first, I got home from the military, and my mom didn't want me to do anything at all. Basically, I just got home from Iraq, so it's kind of a stay here with me. I'm going to cook for you, take care of you, watch over you, make sure you're good to go up here. You know what I mean? So I did that for a little bit. Probably about 6 months later, moved out of my mom's place, got a job at 24-hour fitness for a little bit, and I so happened to get another job, which was in aviation, which is what I was doing in the military. So it's an easy transition there. So after about 4 years of working there, long story short, I was single at the time, so it was 4 days on, 4 days off, even though it was 12 hours a day. Money was okay because I was single, and I used to travel a lot and all this and that, and that's all fine and dandy. But 2008, I got married, started a family pretty quickly, and I realized, just like they were saying, it's all about the freedom, and I didn't have that. Even though I worked pretty close to home, it's like I was rushing to get home so I could have lunch with my kids and my wife sometimes, and I would miss these little things, and and it's always seemed like when I was at work where I missed the kid would do something, this or that, And I remember when my son was 2 years old. I'll never forget this. My son was 2 years old. My daughter was just born. We're at the dinner table, and he's talking about, this is my house, because he talked pretty good at 2 years old. He was like, "This is my house, Daddy." I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, this is your house." He kind of did a round the table thing, like, "Oh, this is Sissy's house too." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right, but this is Sissy's house." And he's like, "This is Mommy's house." I was like, "That's right, bud. This is Mom's house too." And he just kind of stopped and kind of started digging back into his food. I'm like, "Well, what about Daddy, bud?" And he's like, "No, Daddy, you live at work." Right? 2 years old. And he says, "You live at work." And something about that just hit me. It's like, I can't continue to do this. I can't continue to do this. It's all about freedom, and I want to spend more time with my family, my friends, and do the things I really want. And after being in this industry, I kind of skipped over a little, bounced around. Sorry about that. But 2007 is when I got in the industry doing network marketing, but I was chasing family and friends and doing all these traditional things that didn't really work for me until I found a system that worked. I actually got introduced to Aaron through another friend of mine who's an online marketer as well, and I locked arms with Aaron, just knowing his story. And if you guys get involved with us in our team, you'll get to eventually meet Mr. Aaron Raskin and hear his story as well. He's all heart. He's all about the people. He's all heart, just like the community we have with Empower Network. The community, the leadership. Just all the strategy, all the training that we have, stuff like the inner circle audios and daily mindset training, these kind of things that you need in order to be successful in your business, even in life in general. But like I was saying, back to the whole dinner thing, after that I knew I had to make a shift, because I did not want to keep doing this life, living 40 years, 9 to 5, doing the same old. And at the end of the day, guys, it's about freedom. You want to be able to do the things you want in life, live life on your terms, and not just, chase your passion, chase your dreams. And we can do all that because of Dave Wood's vision with Empower Network, and all of our dreams fit inside this vision. And it's crazy what we have here, guys. So I don't know if I'm rambling too long, but that's a little bit about myself. Just want to welcome you guys again. For all you at home, stay locked in, because we got some good stuff to share with you tonight. So.
Awesome, man. Love the stories, guys. Love the stories. Every one of you have a story to tell, right? It doesn't, whether you're a panelist or you're a new member or you're just a guest watching in for the first time, right? Everyone has a story, right? We all have a background. We all have a past. Some of us have a pretty exciting past. Some of us have, a little bit less excitement. Maybe we, kind of just tiptoed quietly, but until now. Because it doesn't have to that your past doesn't mean that your future has to equal what you've already done. You can completely rewrite your entire future by being a part of something new, something exciting, something bigger than yourself, where there's literally tens of thousands of people who are a part of this movement, right? This isn't just a company. This is a movement, and we have changed so many thousands of people's lives in such a short period of time. I've never seen anything like this in 20 years. And it's funny because a lot of people will ask me, what's the secret to your success? And there's so many things I could say, right? There's a lot of, over the years I've got a lot of experience, a lot of companies I've been a part of, a lot of different communities. I've worked with tens of thousands of people and have seen pretty much everything you could possibly see in this industry, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I can tell you that you're going to have issues no matter where you go. There's going to be problems with every company. There's going to be challenges with every single organization you're a part of. There's not one company or organization in the world that doesn't have challenges. And see, there's only two kinds of problems in business, like we're in home business. It's either logistics, which is technology, right, or human error, right? Logistics or human error. And logistics you can get away with because you can fix it. Human error, being out of integrity, right? Not doing what you say you're going to do by when you say you're going to do it, right? Not keeping your word, not putting the people first. That's a big problem. And I've been in a lot of companies. I've been in a lot of different companies where, the people were nice, but they were lacking that integrity. They were lacking vision. They were lacking the ability to put other people before them. And so when Empower Network launched back in, I believe it was actually on Halloween of 2011, and I had just met Dave Wood literally just a few months prior to that at the tail end of August. It was down in Lake Austin, or I guess it was not Lake Travis. Is that what it's called, Adrian? think it was Lake Austin, actually.
Yeah, Lake Austin.
Is there a Lake Travis in Austin?
Yeah, it's out there too.
Oh, is it? Okay, I was in one of those lakes.
Yeah, it's out there in Austin too.
Yeah, I was down in Austin, Texas on this big houseboat party, and there was just one guy that I just kept hearing his voice from across the boat. You know, it's a big houseboat. It held, you know, probably like 50 people or so. And it was Dave Wood. And I didn't know anything about Dave when Empower Network launched, except for the fact that I knew enough by spending a few days with him, right, that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We spent so much time talking. And that's all I really knew of him was just what I learned in those 3 days. I'd heard his name before, but I didn't know who he was. But I knew enough to want to be a part of it. And so here we are 3.5 years later. I just can't say enough about what we've been able to accomplish. I think we're up to either 16 or $17 million earners. We've got somewhere in the neighborhood of about 25 $500,000 earners. And I think there were 45 or close to 50 now people that have made at least $250,000 or more. And then there's literally thousands and thousands of people who make between $2,000 and $5,000 a month. Oh, and then what about the six-figure earners, right? We have, I think it was like close to 200 people that have earned at least $100,000 in the last 3 years. And see, because we were a company that has the highest payout in the industry, right? We pay out 70%. We've done in 3.5 years on the internet, right? Without, you know, and most of us do it online part-time and without picking up a phone to prospect, recruit, or do a single three-way call. If you're from home business, you know that those are the things that they teach you to do, right? Make your list of family and friends, cold call people, three-way call people with your upline or, you know, somebody that you can three-way somebody to, and you spend your whole life tied to your phone, and you don't have any time to really enjoy yourself. And so you trade your time for money. It's like a high-paid job. And here with the internet, right, we create content because content is the new currency. And once we put a piece of content on the internet, whether it's on social media or any one of the platforms that we use, whether it's a blog post, or maybe it's a video, or maybe it's a lens, right? No matter what we do to create content, it's permanent real estate. And when you learn some of the things that are taught inside of our product line, you can learn how to get that product, or should I say that content, in front of hundreds, even thousands of people per day. And then when those people read your content, or they watch your video, or they read or listen to something, or they consume your content, they click on links, and they go over to your pages, which then do all the telling and selling for you. So we've really mastered an automated, you know, system and business, like Adrian was talking about. He was looking for a system. And instead of having to do all the heavy lifting ourselves, we rely on technology and automation to do that for us. So very, very cool. What I want to do here really quick is, you know, Christy, did you pick up the phone and call that person who bought from you, or did you just make money online? I think you're muted out.
You're muted out.
There we go. Sorry. No, I didn't call anyone. It just came in my inbox. Congratulations.
And did you do any research on that person? Did you look up their email address inside your autoresponder to see how long they've been following you, or how long they've been, you know, watching you, and before they got started?
No, I didn't. Actually, is that possible? I can do that?
Yeah, you grab their email address, right?
Okay.
You email, and then you go over to your autoresponder, and you paste their email address into, you know, then there's an area inside the autoresponder. You use GetResponse, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you go to GetResponse and you go into your contact management system. There's a contact area where you can paste their email address, and it'll tell you when they got on your list, if what they've opened up, what they've clicked on, and you can do a whole history. I always research to see how long somebody's been, you know, plugged into my newsletter, and what they clicked on, and how many emails they opened up. I have people that join me after 3-4 years of following me. And since I'm not quitting and I don't go away, right, which is why I've been able to generate multiple 7 figures, right? Income disclaimer, by the way, right? We make no guarantee.
Yeah, income disclaimer.
You want to do it, Adrian?
Yeah, income disclaimer, guys. The results are not typical because people on this panel, people within Empower Network who are making that kind of income are not typical. Please see our income disclaimer at powernetwork.com/income.
All right, cool, guys. So yeah, multiple seven figures in the last 6 years alone since I got on the internet for the first time back in 2008. 2009 was my first full year on the internet, and using the strategies that we're going to be talking about here in just a few minutes, you know, I've been able to generate, like I said, you know, somewhere around $5 million in total commissions in the last I guess 6.5 years. Our first full year, right? My first full year on the internet was 2009, and I think I generated around 690,000 my first year online.
Nice.
Doing what we're going to talk about here tonight, because that's the key. And above all else, now we can sit here and talk about blogging, we can talk about, you know, email marketing, we can talk about copywriting and social media posting, and we can talk about, you know, pretty much anything and everything internet marketing, pay-per-view, pay-per-click, running ads, right, solo ads, lead capture pages, right, video sales letters. We can talk about all that stuff, and that's great because, you know, you do want to learn that language. But there are 3 things that we do every single day, right? And this is something I tell all my new members. I said, you're going to be doing this for the rest of your life on the internet if you plan on being successful, right? Especially in home-based business, right? There's a million ways to $1 million, but if you're going to be successful building a team and building a business where you work once and get paid for months, even years at a time, right? Instead of trading time for money, you know, you're basically using technology and a community to continue to make money from the work you did, you know, sometimes a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I have people on my team today that still, you know, use our products and services and our memberships, and I get paid for the work I did 3.5 years ago here. So super exciting. But above all else, and this is what I'm getting at, above all else, right? No matter what strategies you use, right? There's 3 main things that you're going to be doing every single day, right? Till infinity, till the day you decide that you don't want to do internet marketing anymore and you don't want to make money, right? So it's a very simple concept. As soon as you lose sight, right, of these 3 things, it's over.
Lose Aaron?
Hello, hello.
Hello? Did you lose you there?
Yeah.
I just wanted to, let me chime in real quick, Aaron, just while we're talking about that before I forget. It's important to know, guys, like Christy was saying, talking about making commissions, she didn't even know that you could do certain things within your autoresponder, and I'm sure there's things about the system that she doesn't know yet as well, but she's still making commissions, like, because she's following the system. You don't know you don't have to know how to do everything before you get started, you know, but you got to take that first step and just get in. Yeah. Seriously, you don't have to know everything. There's a lot of people that sit back and they want to wait till they know everything and get everything perfect before they jump. Just jump in. Just jump in and get going. Follow the system. It's a simple, proven system that works. And I just want to say that real quick and chime in because, like Christy said, she didn't even know how to do that, but she still made a commission. And I'm sure Aaron's a 7-figure earner multi-times over, but I'm sure his first commission was probably something like that as well. Didn't know where it came from, didn't know everything, but he followed a system. And it always starts with 1, guys. That first commission is like, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, here's what's interesting is that I didn't know how everything worked when I first got started. You're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. I had no idea what I was doing. All I knew was what we're going to share tonight. And it's right. You're right, Adrian. You don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You just got to get yourself in the game, get on the team, surround yourself with the people who are already making it happen, and just keep these 3 things in mind. So let's talk about these things. What are they? Okay. Number 1. Let's talk about number 1 first, because we'll go in order, and that way we can cover it. You know, I want to hear from all you guys on each of these different action steps. But the first thing that you always will be doing for the rest of your career in our business and with this model is that you're going to build a list. You're going to build a list of people who are looking for you as much as you're looking for them. And we're in the make money market. We're in the work from home-based business industry, right? So we're looking for people and they're looking for us, and when they subscribe to our newsletters, when they get on our list, when they opt in our lead capture pages, okay, they become a subscriber. And the key is to build the list all the time of targeted people, people who are in the market. I always say good marketing is getting the right message in front of the right people at just the right time, right? Get in front of the right people, right? The right message in front of the right people at just the right time, right? I'll just use an example and then I'll pass it over to you guys. You wouldn't try to sell a steak to a vegetarian, right? You'd want to sell them something that's vegan, right? No dairy, right? No eggs, right? No anything that's not, you know, something that they're used to. So vegetables and fruits and, you know, nuts and you know, those kinds of things. You know, you would put that kind of a dinner in front of a vegetarian, but you wouldn't bring them a steak dinner or, you know, a piece of chicken, right? They won't eat it. So getting the right message, which is what they're already interested in, the right message in front of the right person, somebody who's ready, right? They're willing to take action, right? They're tired of where they're at right now. They want change. They want something better. They want to make progress, right? They want to pay off bills. They want to make some more money. They want to get out of debt, right? Maybe they want to pay off their house early or their car early or student loans early. Maybe they have credit card debt they want to get rid of. They want to take some financial pressure off themselves, right? You build a list of people who are looking for these things. And let me tell you, there's hundreds of millions of people, if not billions of people, who are looking for ways to do these things, right? They want to pay off bills, get out of debt, they want to travel, they want to take vacations, they want an early retirement. Heck, we have people on our team that retire in their 30s, literally. I did. I retired at 25 years old. And I never worked another day in my life. I've been in home business for now over 20 years. And I can tell you, right, I don't work for a living, I work for a loving because I love this. I love being able to do what I want. Like all day today, I was just so blessed because I was able to take almost a whole day off. And I still had a multiple four-figure day. And I still generated over probably close to $4,000 today. And you know what I did? I was doing a favor for a good friend of mine. I had to take a long ride down Colorado Boulevard and just go deliver a grandfather clock. Okay, that's what I did today. But I was listening to my music, and I was on the phone, and I stopped for lunch and had some sushi, stopped off at the gym on the way home. Right, I did all my day, and I still had a multiple four-figure day. And you know what? I couldn't do that if I had a job. I couldn't do that if I had to go somewhere to work, right? And that's what's happening for so many people on our team, is that they're living the lifestyle and then they fit their business into their life. So again, build a list. Guys, I'm going to pass it over to you. And I know, Adrian, you're generating hundreds of, I saw the other day you generated 100 leads in one day. Why don't you share a little bit about what you're doing?
Yeah, 4 short. 4 short of that. But guys, just follow the system. Like I said, the list is important. You know, I said the fortune is in the follow-up, and instead of chasing family and friends and all that kind of stuff, you follow the system, learn how to do the capture pages, and learn different ways to promote and market your business online to where people are opting into your page. And now you can, like we say, drip on them. Just write emails every day to them. Some people do it a few times a week. Some people do it every single day. You got to kind of really, judge for yourself. But it's important, basically, to stay in contact with your list. And it's all about your story and the other stories the success stories that are going on within the community. You know, because you're looking for people who are like you. One thing we always say in this business is, if you're trying to speak to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. So find your target niche, the people that you're looking for, your avatar, we call it, which is really you. You know, and just market, promote, and build a list and follow up. It's I remember starting off having just a couple leads, and you see all these people with the big lead list, and you're just like, man, how the heck am I going to get there? But it always starts with one. So even if you have one person on your list, you writing your emails like it's a million people on your list. It doesn't matter. Just continuously engage them. And like I said, follow the system. There's some simple strategies. Very simple strategies. Easy to do, but easier not to do. So I would stick with the easy to do and just follow the system. So hand it over to Miss Christy. Share a little bit what you got going on right now. Maybe what you did to generate that that 4 o'clock email this morning. You're muted.
I keep forgetting. Sorry. Since I just started, my list is not it's not all that big. I mean, I have a little under 300 people in my list. The first thing that I did was I spent I actually spent $1,000 and I bought let's see, I think I spent it was $1,000 and it was for 1,000 clicks. And that's how I generated most of my leads. But that was all while I was, like I said, I was looking at this as a hobby instead of a business. So, and I really didn't do too much of anything except for play around a little bit. But once I went to Nashville to the event, I came home a new person. I've been working on all my Facebook stuff, all my Craigslist ads. What else have I been doing? Everything that the system tells you to do, I've been doing it, and so I'm slowly generating leads little bit by little bit, and I see my list growing. So I mean, I'm just doing what all the training videos are telling me to do, but actually, since I've been able to buy clicks, paid traffic. For me, it seems like it grows your list a little bit faster, but it's all working. So I don't know where it came from. I'm going to go to my autoresponder and find out.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty darn cool. Hang on one sec, guys. Sorry.
That's another thing, guys, real quick. You hear, like Christy just said again, she's got less than 300 leads right now, and it doesn't matter how big or how small the list. You continuously engage your list and just promote. And I mean, people have been on my list for over a year or two, you know, and sometimes it just takes them that long, and they just one email or something that happens in their life which tells them, you know what, it's time for me to do this, you know. And if you're staying in these people's lives and continuously emailing them and engaging them, then eventually they'll hop in. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, that's for sure.
That's right. Hey, and that brings us, did you guys talk about the second action step yet or not?
No, I don't know if Todd and Yvette want to chime in about the list, because I think I took a little too long there. But
it's okay. Yeah, I could talk about that, because that's one of the most important things, is building a relationship with your list. You know, you get your list together. You know, Aaron was talking a little bit about how he got into this into online marketing, about 6.5 years ago. Well, I've been one of the people that's been on his list for about 6.5 years, and he's built a relationship with me. When I've been down and I've needed some like pump up, I would pull up his emails, I'd read them and everything. And I was really turned off by the industry, because I was sick and tired of doing like home meetings and this and that. And Aaron just kept on saying, hey, you don't have to do that in this industry. You just have to be consistent, plug into the system. You can buy traffic, you can develop traffic with social media. It's just a matter of being consistent on a daily basis. And Aaron was consistent with me, and he built a relationship with me on the list. And eventually, I was one of those people that said, hey, I'm ready to go. And here I am today. And it's all about that relationship with your list. You build a list, however you're going to do it, and then building a relationship with that list then brings us to the third thing, which is, I don't know if you want to chime in, Aaron.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
Okay. Yeah, it's just, you know, building a relationship with your list. And so however you're going to do it, we got the systems here. We have training videos in the back office. We have Aaron sends out daily posts that explain how to talk to people, how to build your business and everything like that. And it's you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself here. And that's probably the most comfortable place that you can be, is because you're not on your own. And I can't stress that more. And just by building that relationship with your list, and it doesn't matter how big it is, it's going to get bigger, because as soon as you're real with your people, as soon as you're real with your list, they're going to start saying, hey, what am I here for? You know, am I sick and tired of working in this cubicle? Am I sick and tired of giving up time for money? I want the perfect life. I want to have time and money, and that's what this industry affords us. And so why don't I go ahead and shoot it over to Yvette here, and you could talk a little bit about the second thing on our list.
Well, I want to backtrack a little bit, if that's cool, about the whole list thing, because I'm new to this. In fact, I think the call sign that I have endearingly given myself, and I think some of my cohorts will obligingly and indulge me with, is my call sign is tech-tard, all right? Meaning I am technologically challenged. I think it's almost like a learning disorder, all right? So the whole thing is, for those of you who might be new to this, I remember when I was coming on, like, list. What is this list thing? What do you mean list? Well, what do you mean build a list? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does build a list mean? All right. So building a list means like, the best thing that I could say is it's like an analogy. I'm not sure if anyone has gone fishing, or even there's a dating analogy. All right. So if you're fishing, obviously you're going to need a different bait, if you will. If you're looking for trout, you're going to go to a different location if you're fishing for trout, right? You're going to go to streams. Or versus a different location and a different bait if you're going deep sea fishing for marlin or swordfish. Clearly, you're not going to use the same bait for trout as you would marlin or swordfish, right? So the whole point with list building is knowing who you want to attract. Does that make sense? So when I heard that analogy, I was able to sink my teeth into it and say, oh, okay, I get that. And even a more fun analogy, I think, is dating, right? Let's have a little fun with this, shall we? We can get so serious sometimes. Let's use the dating analogy. Building a list. All right. So let's say you're in the market. Wow, you want to attract the mother of your children or the father of your children. Are you going to go fishing at the bar? Sometimes it happens. Small chance, right? Or are you going to have a higher chance of finding that particular person and, let's say, wow, maybe at a religious function, or let's say, you're volunteering or you have some kind of some similar activity that you like, right? So the whole point of building a list is meaning that you're attracting people with things that they're interested in, with things that they want, things that they resonate with. And that way, that goes into our second point of building a relationship, is that you can't really attract people, building a list, aka building a list, unless you know what they want, or if that resonates with you. Let's say, God, you don't want to go to the deep ocean. You don't want any of that, so why the hell would you go try saying, why am I not catching any marlin or swordfish in the Colorado River? No. You're going to go find trout in the Colorado River. You're not going to find marlin. You're not going to find, swordfish there. So it's about knowing what you want to look for, knowing what you resonate with, and knowing what that particular person wants or the bait. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's the difference. Like it's easy to get somebody's attention, but then you got to keep it, and that's what building the relationship is all about. Is providing a ton of value to them. Now, a lot of people get confused, and this is something that you probably want to, jot down some notes here. Value to our audience, right? Value to our list, subscribers, people that are following us, our friends or fans on Facebook, right? Or any of these social media platforms, people who follow us on Instagram or Pinterest or Google Plus or, wherever, right? There's 6 different types of value, really 5 different types of value, because the 6th type of value is really the 3rd action step in this whole process. So let me explain that. So there's 5 different types of value. Number 1, you provide information to people. Okay, information about a specific company, about a product, about an opportunity, about a community, a culture, a compensation plan, live events, the leadership, the mentorship, the training, the support, right? That's specific to like a company. So if you're providing information to somebody, it's specific to a company or its product, or its compensation, or its community, or its culture. So we would name the company or the product or the opportunity, right? So that's information. That's called providing value. When you provide that for somebody, it answers their question, who we are, what we do, and how they can be a part of it. Okay? The second kind of value comes in the form of education, how to do something. Right now we're doing an educational piece. This is all about education. I talked a little bit about the company Empower Network earlier, right? So I gave you information, right? We're a 3.5-year-old company. We've done $150 million plus, and I think it's probably closer to $200 million. Again, I don't know for sure, but we've been saying $150 million now for like 6 or 8 months, and we're doing a lot of business every month. So it's probably a much higher number than that. I don't know official numbers. The company hasn't disclosed them, but last time I heard we did $150 million, and that was like the end of last summer. So we're probably closer to $200 million, maybe more, right? In 3.5 years, right? I told you about all these people that have made 7-figure income, and $500,000 and $250,000 and 6-figure income, and how 3/4 of our affiliates have gotten at least one check, right? Where if you go to any other network marketing company, it's usually about 5% of the people have gotten paid, and 95% are struggling, making little to no money at all, right? So I gave you a little bit of education. Then there's inspiration, right? Look at these stories, right? Christy, single mom of 3, sleeping 4 in the morning, boom, she makes money in her sleep, right? That's inspiring. That's exciting to me, right? So that's inspiration. Comeback stories, right? Stories of people who are down and out, right? Rags to riches. People who worked in cubicles and retired at the age of 33, like our friend Lawrence. And then Anna and Alex, who just crossed $1 million here just last night, right? They're both Russian immigrants. They came here barely speaking English, and here they are in network marketing for a few, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. Tried a bunch of MLM companies, a bunch of network marketing companies, and boom, here they are in Empower Network 3.5 years later, 7-figure earners, right? So that's inspiration. You can tell a story about Rocky Balboa. You can tell a story about, Rudy, the movie Rudy with the guy who played for Notre Dame. He was he was like nobody betted on him that he would be a part of the team, and he wound up becoming part of the team. He made the team, and he got in the game, a big Notre Dame game, and college football. If you watch the movie, you know what I mean. But any kind of comeback story, that's inspiration, right? You talk about people who've just had incredible challenge in their lives, and what's happened to them since they made a decision to get started, right? So that's inspiration. Then there's entertainment, right? I always use this as an example. We went out, a bunch of internet marketers went out for dinner in Austin. Not the time I met Dave Wood, almost 4 years ago. It'll be 4 years this summer, but before that I was out in Austin for another big event, and a group of us went out for sushi, and we had a wasabi eating contest. Now, I know it disgraces, Japanese culture, but we were having a good time out at this sushi restaurant, and the question was who could eat the biggest sushi ball? Or not sushi ball, wasabi ball. And I posted the video on one of my old blogs, and I had thousands of views on this video. It was all over YouTube. And, it was entertaining. It was funny. It was silly. It was goofy. It was just kind of like being real. Just like we all are, but it was just a really funny, entertaining thing. And you know what? People got started because they wanted to have fun. They enjoyed it. They thought it was cool. They thought it was funny. They thought it was kind of, different than anything they've ever seen. So you know what? Entertain people, right? This is entertainment, right? You're watching this hangout instead of watching TV. Maybe you're watching this instead of watching videos on Facebook. Because, that's not going to make you money. That's going to cost you money. Where here, what we're doing can make you money. So entertainment, right? That's our fourth kind of value that we can provide. And then we have the most important value, I think, which is connection, right? Feeling like a part of a team. How does it feel, Christy, to be on this hangout right now?
Is it real? I feel important, actually.
Well, you are important.
Yeah. I feel wonderful. Thank you for having me on this hangout.
Yeah, I know. You're so welcome. And I knew when we met that we were going to become great friends and that we were going to have a great working relationship. Same with Yvette, right? I mean, Yvette, this is your first, or I guess this is your third hangout, but, this is the first time that you've ever been, part of a leadership team. And that, how does it feel for you to be a part of something so awesome?
This is crazy. This is crazy. I mean, because it's just really real. When people say leadership, that's really cool, and you think, oh yeah, well, I mean, maybe this is just me. I had this in my head. Oh yeah, they have to be stuffy. They have to put on a face, or they got to put on a front, and they have to be this, or they have to be that. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm literally hanging out with you guys with a glass of wine and my kid. I had to move to the other bedroom because he was saying, shh, mommy, shh, I'm trying to sleep, and here I am, I'm having a hangout, and I love the fact that leadership can obviously mean different things for different people, but I think at the end of the day, when you're hanging out, being yourself, and being able to live a life on your own terms, I'd like to think that in and of itself can speak for itself, and more importantly, can resonate with other people, so that in each of our own ways that we can help people see that there are alternatives, right? And that there's a community here, there's a support here, and that there's so much possibility here. So it's a privilege truly to be a part of this. So thank you for having me.
It's awesome to have you. So it's about connection. It's about creating a relationship. It's about being a part of something bigger than just ourselves. And that's what you can provide to people, is that community, that feel, right? We meet at all these events every quarter, right? Our next live event is coming up in Las Vegas at the Red Rocks Hotel this coming late July. It's July 30th, 31st, and August 1st. So if you're on the team, you cannot afford not to be there. If you're getting started, get a ticket, right? It is life-changing, right? Because when you go to live events, the first thing that changes is your life, right? Because you come out of there, and I was going to say this earlier, Yvette, but you talked about being a better person. Really what's happening is you become a better communicator. And that communication starts with you. You start speaking to yourself differently. You start thinking differently. You start acting differently, right? One of my favorite quotes is that you can't think your way into a new way of acting. You've got to act your way into a new way of thinking. And when you go to an event, you learn about action. You learn about taking different action and becoming a different communicator for yourself and for other people. And that's when they start noticing, right, Yvette?
Yes.
Okay, so you become a better communicator when you come to live events, but being connected to the team, rubbing shoulders and bumping elbows and spending time, hanging out at the restaurants and the bars and the late night parties and going to the masterminds, and literally it's like the event after the event, right, which is where all the good stuff is. That's where you really get to know people. And these are the people that we network with on Facebook, we hang out with on hangouts like this, right? We get on webinars, we do private chats, we do group conference calls. We work one-on-one, and then when we get to the live events every 90 days, we have a family. And that
totally
way,
family.
At the event, you take your family home with you, even though they're not coming to your home. You go home with thousands of people in your brain, on your mind, and in your heart, and you work with them for the next 90 days, and you build toward the next event, and you go back and you do it again. But this time you bring more people on your team. You have new partners. You have new members. You have new affiliates that you work with. You have new relationships. And you know what? Those who last always finish first, right? Christy talked about shiny objects. I think we call those shiny balls, right? Like where we get distracted, right? One of our teammates said on Facebook the other day, he said, people ask me all the time how I've become so successful. And the answer is because I don't let myself get distracted. Right, Adrian? You know that.
That's right.
You just don't
get distracted.
I got distracted in 6.5 years. I'm no better than any of you. I've been around for a long time, but I'm not. It's nothing I can't teach you or you learn from, being a part of our community and having our product line, right? I just do what I learn. I just follow. I'm very consistent and I'm persistent. I've always been an overcomer, right? Where I've been challenged left and right, right? $20 million lawsuit, went through a divorce, right? Got audited by the IRS, all in the last 2 years, right? Out of pocket, hundreds of thousands of dollars to defend myself and get all my legal issues behind me. But guess what? It's over. It's done. And you know what? I'm still here. And you know what? You can do the same thing. I don't care how much debt you have. I don't care what your problems are. Trust me, if all the world put their problems into a bag and you had to pick a problem, I guarantee you'd be very happy to pick your own.
Yeah. It's a great point, Aaron. I just want to touch on that real quick. Like Aaron was saying, he went through all these different things, guys, but he still just kept it going. Didn't get distracted. Just keep it moving. And if you haven't started with us right now, maybe there's something going on in your life right now, whether it be legal problems, marriage problems, who knows what's going on in your life. You may be thinking to yourself, well, I don't want to get started until this clears up or until this situation is perfect. And I can tell you right now, you just got to jump in anyway, because whether it's unfortunate if there is something going on in your life right now, but whether it's today and you think things are going to get perfect, there's always going to be another reason. There's always going to be something happening, But when you make a decision to change and do something differently, that's when things start to happen. Getting connected around the right people, like-minded people, like everybody here on this panel, everybody who was in Nashville a couple weeks ago and all the events, because when you get around these people, especially when you start to hear these stories, the stories from people on stage, the stories you might hear from somebody talking to in the hallway, it's crazy, guys. People look at these people and put them on a pedestal and all that kind of little celebrity status and all that when you go to the events, and I understand. I'm the same way. But anybody who's met Aaron, he's been in the industry for 20 years and, 7 figures over and over again. But when you meet Aaron, you see how humble this guy is, just down to earth human being. He's just an amazing person. It's like that through this whole community, guys. Like they keep saying, I've bounced around this industry for a while, and I've never seen or felt what we have here with Empower. Just the connection, the family, and I kind of compare it to the military as far as the camaraderie, because I haven't had this since then. People are trying to step all over your neck and break your back to get to the top in corporate America, while you're sitting in a cubicle thinking about what you'd rather be doing, trying to cram in all that fun in a 2-day weekend just to get around Sunday 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're like, oh shit, I got to go to work tomorrow. Your mind's already thinking about getting prepared for work tomorrow. And do that cycle over and over again. But get in, guys. Click the blue button. Get around like-minded people who are going to lift you up, who are there for you. Get to our events. It's key. That's one thing I want to bring up real quick as far as the events, where we connect. We don't have events where, if you've been in network marketing for a while, you go to an event and maybe 2 or 3 times through the weekend they're going to tell you to rush to the back with your credit card in hand and buy like $300-400 more of some juice or some lotion or some potion or some booklets, and you go home, you don't use half of that crap, and now you're freaking broke again or more in debt or whatever. We don't do that in Empower Networking events. It's all about the training, the connecting, and just stories, and people seeing how real we are, not just as as a business community, but as a family as well. And our events are cheap, seriously. For the training and the things that you get at our events, there is hands down the cheapest events I can go to. But the value of the events itself and what you get from the events is 15, 20 times more than what the events cost. And it's usually around $100, right, guys? $100, $150 tops.
Yeah, $150 for a ticket or something.
$50. Well, I've been to events through the industry where it's $400, $500, and you don't get not even a quarter of what you get with the Empower Network events, guys. So get involved and get connected.
Yeah.
Stay connected.
Yeah. I've paid as much as $20,000 to go to an event.
You know what I mean?
Adrian.
Yeah.
But it's an investment in your education. So if you don't go, you shouldn't expect to be successful. It's funny. The people that don't go to events, they don't last in the business. They're out within 90 days, or they just never make any money. And the people who go repeatedly, over and over and over, it's not, you don't go just one event. You go every single event. And you might be thinking, well, I don't have the money to go to the event. Well, that's why you don't have any money, because you haven't been going to events. So you got to put you can't put the cart before the horse. The horse is the engine, and that's what drives the business, and that's your mind, that's your mindset and your skill set. So let's do this. We talked about the 4 or the 5 different types of value that you can offer, right? Information, education, inspiration, entertainment, connection, and then the last part of the value puzzle is really the third action step in this whole three-piece formula where we build a list, build a relationship with the list, right? Now remember, the relationship could be a link to a video, it could be a link to your social media, your blog, it could be an email that just is long and has lots of great information, right? If it doesn't, because it's long doesn't mean it's not good. It's never too long if it is good content. So you can write your content right in your emails. I mix it up. I do all sorts of email, follow-up emails. I'll send people to blog posts, social media, videos, right, articles, right? I've used press releases. There's so many things you can send people to develop the relationship, right? So those are the 5 things, and then the 6th part of the content or the value is really the 3rd piece of this puzzle, which is monetizing, or turning your subscriber list into money, right? It's an asset, right? If you talk to any entrepreneur or any, like let's just take real estate for example, since I've been dealing with so much real estate lately. You talk to a realtor, and they have clients, right? People that they've either sold homes to, or maybe that they've showed homes to, or maybe people who have reached out to them and said, hey, I'm looking to buy or sell, and maybe that, they've never wound up using that realtor, but that is a person that is, somebody that they may wind up doing business with. It's a prospect. So every business has to have a subscriber list, right? And because they have, built a list and they developed that relationship, like I just got in the mail today, I just got a magnet for my refrigerator, right, from a local realtor. The summer's coming up, right? We're in the spring. Summer's coming up. People buy and sell homes a lot more when it's warmer and nicer weather. So this realtor sent a magnet out to all the people in the local community and said, hey, I'll sell your house within 30 days. This is the guy's guarantee. So guess what? His refrigerator, my refrigerator has this guy on the side there, and it's, if I need a realtor, I probably would consider him. I may speak to him, but the key is to build a list, build a relationship, right? That's how he built his relationship, was he sent out a free magnet, but then turn it into money, right? That means you have to make an offer to the people on your list who are looking for what you have to offer them, right? It's called making an offer. And as long as you provide value, whether it's a product or a service, right, then this is why people will buy. Now, not everybody buys, right? We have a certain percentage of people out of 100, right, maybe anywhere from 1 to 3 or 5% will actually buy on the internet, right? This is what we call conversion numbers. These are metrics, right? So out of 100 leads or people looking at your business, you might get 1 to 5 of them who actually buy something from you. But that 1 to 5 who buy from you, right, that covers the cost of generating the other 95 leads. And then monthly, right, and then other products, like we have different types of products inside of our community, right? We have a low-ticket offer, right, for $25, right? Then in a good marketing funnel, this is typical of a good funnel, you've got a low-ticket offer, you have a slightly higher upsell, you have a one-time offer, you have a big-ticket offer, you have continuity, which is a membership or an ongoing, service that people buy. So there's multiple streams of income from multiple different products inside of our community, inside of our product line, right? But like Adrian said and I said earlier, you don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. So we turn our list into money by offering valuable products and services, and that's what we do. This is why I came to Empower Network, because we have the highest quality information products in our niche that I'm aware of. This is why we sold the most amount of it in 3.5 years over any other community that I personally know of. Right? We have an incredible lineup of products and services that people buy every single month. They want them, they need them, and they can afford them. And by being an affiliate, right, it's a $19.95 affiliate fee per month. You get the license to print money when people buy from you. That's the beauty of this whole process, is that you didn't just come here for information. You came here to make money. You came here to become successful. You came here to pay off your own bills, right? Get out of debt. Take off some of that financial burden, right? Todd, Yvette, Christy, right? Adrian, this is what we're here for. This is a business. Sure, we're having fun, we're networking, but this is marketing. And the reason we market is because we want to build a business and be financially free. And this is what we have all done, and that's what thousands of our members have all done. And that's what we're doing, is we're all building a business. We're working together as a team to raise each other up and lift each other up and work right, together to support each other, and this is how we get to live the lives of freedom. So that's what we do, is we monetize our subscriber list. Guys, anyone want to add anything to that? Because we're going to start wrapping up here in a few minutes.
If I could jump in there, and this isn't a lotions, potions, or anything thing. We're right on the cusp of a wave of technology that, I mean, you drive down the street, how many people do you see trying to use their cell phones? How many people, you walk into Starbucks, nobody wants to say hi anymore because they're on the internet. This is the product that you could monetize your list with very, very easily. We're at the cusp of a wave of technology, and that's what Empower is all about. I just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, we are. It's like a building. It's like a wave building right now. It's just like nothing we've ever seen. And I always say this has been a beta test. For the last 3 years we've been in beta because we were a new product, new company, new product line, new idea. Nobody had ever heard of this kind of commission payout. Nobody had ever heard of a viral blogging system. Well, who thinks of these things, right? Only David Wood. So he brings his company to the market with his vision that's so big, right, that millions of people's dreams fit inside of it. That's how powerful Empower Network really is. And this has been life-changing. So here's what I want to do, guys. I want to wrap up, and just kind of continue the conversation that I started before. We have a 3-step freedom formula here with the All-In team. Okay, I talked about the first step in the freedom formula. Number 1 is that I know you didn't come here just for information or be entertained, although I hope we did a good job. We covered a lot of information tonight, a lot of, education. We talked a little bit about how to build a successful business, right? Build a list, build a relationship, and monetize it. Lead in with good products and services and good offer, and that's when people buy from you. It's how you make sales, right? The right person, the right message at just the right time, right? So number 1 is you didn't come here for this information and education and entertainment. You came here to make a difference in your life, right? So that's the key, is to get started. Get started. Click the link below this video on the Hangout page and just register to get started. It's $25 to become a member of our viral blogging platform. It's called Kalatu. It means to tell your story. It's your online home. Yvette, you have an online home? Right?
Yay!
Right, Yvette just got her entire blog decked out and, header, footer, social media, everything. She got it all set up. Right? Todd's in the process of getting his done. I know, Christy's probably in the process of getting hers. Adrian, same thing. Right? You got to have an online home. If you don't have an online home, you're homeless. Right? You're homeless.
It's true.
Right? And the key is to get people off of Facebook, get them off of Google+, get them off of Pinterest and Twitter and YouTube. You want to get them over to your blog. Right? And you can capture leads at your blog. You can tell stories at your blog. You can entertain them. You can inform them. You can educate them. You can connect with them, right? I've been blogging for 6.5 years. Served me well. Right? I've been blogging even before we started blogging, with Empower Network's viral blogging system. I was blogging for the last 6.5 years, and 3.5 now with Empower. So I'm telling you, you want the blog. It's $25 a month, right? So get started, get your foot in the door, become a part of the team, get into the community. Right? Step number 2, just like this, Wednesday nights, plug in, be a part of the team, pay attention, come to the live events. We have everything in place for your success. Everything. There's nothing here that you can't succeed at if you put your mind to it. So plug in, pay attention, and then the 3rd step, very, very important, right? Do the work. Right? We've been on this Hangout for 75 minutes. In the time that we've been on this Hangout, you could have done the work that it would take for you to do your daily routine. Right? Do a blog post, syndicate it all over the internet. Send a broadcast message to people that join your list. Send them back to your sales page. And that's how we make money, my friend. It is not that difficult. It is not that difficult. Anybody else want to share anything before we wrap up, guys?
I just wanted to share one last thought, is the whole notion, depending on what people's scenarios and what people's situations are watching this. I know that for me, one of the biggest, literally a paradigm shift, is the whole notion of cash flow independent of time. That was a huge one for me, and I'm sure it is for a lot of people. And I think a lot of times we are used to working hard, and there's nothing wrong with that, but the whole notion of working smarter, meaning instead of trading time for dollars, there's a cap on that. There's a cap in terms of lifestyle on that. There's a cap in terms of really feeling divided. If you want to go travel, if you want to spend family time, there's only so many ways you can divide the pie up, so to speak. Well, if one is willing to open their mind as well as their hearts, as well as being just open to learning about this whole notion of cash flow independent of time, whether with us, whether with someplace else, if there's anything that I would want to leave with someone who is watching this, is cash flow independent of time with a group of people that you resonate with. It just has to feel right, but also even from the hardcore basics of, does the system make sense? Do the numbers make sense? Does all of that, you know, the bullet point stuff on paper make sense, but also does it feel right? And also, like what Aaron was saying, it's here. It's literally, I mean, in a way, it's kind of, it catches me off guard to the state of how literally step by step it is, because I think a lot of times, at least for me, I was almost put off guard about how simple it is in terms of how step by step it is, because it's very easy to make excuses by saying, oh, it's too complicated, it's too hard, and oh wow, how convenient that is, so therefore you don't really have to do anything. Well, here's the deal, guys. It is so step by step. If you don't know what to do, interestingly enough, there are steps that will literally guide you. So it's just a matter of you wrapping your heart and your brain around this, about that whole notion of cash flow independent of time, and if it's a priority to you. Because either way, this baby's going, with or without. So it's just a matter of you embracing it and finding a group and finding your tribe or finding a group of people that you want to run with.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, we call it social proof, but the fact is that it's self-serving and evident, right? We have so many people that are doing so well in such a short period of time that you can't ignore the facts. The facts is that if you get started and you plug in and you pay attention and you're willing to do the work, right? It's not hard work. We're not digging ditches in frozen ground. We're creating content. We're getting paid for our ideas. We're getting paid for our creativity. We get to post on Facebook. We get to use video. We get to post on different mediums like Instagram, Pinterest, Google+, Twitter, right? If you enjoy, right, communicating with people, if you enjoy being fully self-expressed and sharing information and education, right, all the different types of value that we share, you're going to love this business, right? You're going to love it. So click the link below the video player. There's a Register Now button. Go get your Kalatu viral blogging system. Go through our Fast Start training. You're going to learn a little bit about our community, our live events. You're going to learn a little bit more about our product line. And you'll hear from one of us, whoever it is that you get started with, whoever sent you to this hangout, right? You'll hear from them once you get on board. You guys will go over a game plan, and you can bring people to this very hangout next Wednesday night. So that being said, I want to thank the panel, Todd, Adrian, Christy, Yvette. You guys are all awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you. All of our members that are on the hangout, that are in the chat, all of our guests, all of our first-time viewers. We want to welcome you aboard. This call is officially a wrap. We'll see you guys next week. And for those of you that are affiliates, we are going to be debuting a very cool video. I don't know if some of you have seen it yet, but they actually recorded our little team luncheon in my suite in Nashville a few weeks ago. And that video is now being played all over the internet by, it's being viewed by thousands of people right now as we speak. And tomorrow night on our affiliate-only hangout, you're going to get a chance to see the video there as well if you haven't seen it yet, or if you didn't see it yet, or you won't see it tonight. You'll see it tomorrow night. You get on board, become a member, get your affiliate set up, come on tomorrow night's hangout, and you'll also get a chance to hear from Alex and Anna Zubarev, who just crossed the $1 million mark themselves yesterday. Yay. So super excited, guys. Click the link below. Get started. We'll speak to you again soon. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye, guys. Bye.
See you, everyone.